quick question for you. What's the most time-consuming task in your business right now? Not the most important one or the stressful one, just the one that takes a lot of time. The one, if you're being honest, your team probably spends more than a few hours on every week doing. And it's fine, it just takes a while. And whatever that thing is, there's a good chance in 12 months it'll probably look very different. And by the end of the video, you'll know exactly why. So, I've been in a lot of business now, different sizes, different industries, and when I sit down with teams that actually map out where their time goes, some categories come up over and over. Writing things, reports, emails, proposals, documentation, social posts, big ones for marketing, responses to clients. If you added up every hour you spent putting words together in your business in a given week, it would probably surprise you. Um, So, reading through documents, email chains, meeting notes, contracts, and then having to distill them into something useful for someone else, formatting things, taking raw data, rough notes, and turning them into something presentable. These are all tasks that feel small, but they add up really quickly. So, researching things, looking up competitors as well, writing market summaries, putting together backgrounds for pitch, everything, proposals, fact checking proposals as well, and just communicating. Those are all things that are all text based and they all follow a structure. So the actual judgment that's involved, the part that you pay people for, that you bring your expertise to, depending if you're a sole prop or a small business, medium business, normally you're paying for this sort of thing or you're bringing it yourself. Um, it's a fraction of the total time you spend. You're maybe really bringing your A game for those reports, for those communications, for those fact checks and those proposals, those pitches, for maybe 30% of it. 70% is fluff. Um, and AI is extraordinarily good at doing that fluff. The issue is when it tries to do that 30%. It's great with the fluff. It's not like decent, it's good. Um, and you can still do exactly what you were doing better and faster and for less amount of time for a very small investment. So I'd say the task audit is usually a really good example, the one that I like to bring up. So here's the thing that I want you to do right now. I want you right now in your head, or pause, write it down, about the 10 most recurring tasks, things you do at least once a week, and for each one, I want you to ask three questions. One, how long does it take? Two, how repetitive it is. Does it follow like roughly the same structure each time? Three, is the value coming from the thinking or the doing? The last one's very much the most important one because most tasks in a business have a thinking component and a doing component. The thinking is the judgment, the experience, the nuance. That's where you're not replaceable. That's the most important bit. That's usually, again, what you're paying for or what you bring to the table. The doing is the execution, the formatting, the writing it all out, and that's where AI shines. That's where the tool is most valuable and most useful. And if you've seen any of my previous videos or been to the webinar, that's exactly what we're talking about. It's not some black box that's going to replace you tomorrow. It's very much a tool. So if you find the tasks that are taking 80% of the time or 80% of the doing time and the thinking time is only 20%, you found your automation candidates. Right there and then, those can be automated right away. You don't even have to do your full business overhaul. Even just doing those tasks, you get hours back right away. And in most businesses I've worked with, those tasks add up somewhere between 5 and 15 hours a week per person. So 5 to 15 hours per person per week in a 10-person team, that's 150 hours. And 50 hours a week, that could be redirected. And yeah, so not only are you getting hours back by hiring less people, your existing teams get back to doing the work that actually moves the needle. And it's deeper in client relationships because you're getting things done faster for the same amount of money. It's bigger strategic thinking, so more projects, And you also just get time outside of work. We've worked with teams that they have those 5 to 15 hours. That's their Thursday and Friday. So they'll be done work for the entire week by Wednesday, maybe Tuesday in some cases. And some businesses just have to figure out, okay, we have to get just more clients. We have more capacity now. We can get, to that threshold that we wanted to get to. Maybe by the end of the year, we can get it to this quarter. It's it's not really about the big tasks that are high value automations. That's still very much a case, but it requires a lot more oversight. It's those common, really maybe not instantly coming to mind, low value automation candidates that are just astronomical when you add them up. Um, and I think it's very valuable, especially if you have a sales team, if you think about writing proposals. The structure of the proposal is almost always the same. The problem, solution, scope, timeline, pricing. So the customization is almost about 20% of the document, and that's again usually what you're paying people for. So AI can get you that skeleton in minutes, and your sales rep spends maybe their time on that 20% that we were talking about. So, and that skeleton is also personalized. So you give them some information about the business, tell AI, hey, go learn about this business. They'll go say, Rob was, big fan of he's been posting about maybe the Toronto Maple Leafs on his LinkedIn. So you can mention that in the report. And it's something maybe your guy would have to spend 5-10 minutes looking at, going through posts, reading, if they're doing it at all. And all of a sudden you have that deeper client relationship. Your proposal is more likely to go through. You have a talking point when you get into a meeting with them. And if you have a marketing function, similar thing. Think about content, blog posts, email campaigns, social media. The volume of content required today is enormous. You need to be posting multiple times a day on certain platforms, and it needs to be solid, good, well-made content. Most businesses either underproduce or burn people out producing. Um, if you look at somebody like Alex Hormozy, he has a really good team behind him, but they burn through pretty people relatively quickly in trying to find the right ones who can obviously do the job, but then also just very, very demanding. So AI can't solve the creativity aspect, your ideas, your brand, your voice, everything about you. They still drive everything, but it gets a draft in front of you in 10 minutes. If you look at Yorbi AI, you can put together viral content in a few minutes, and all of it's from what you would normally intake or normally look at, and it's all centralized, and it's a great platform. I highly recommend it. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I would like to be. They're a really cool platform. Um, but yeah, you can get things done in 10 minutes that would normally take you 2 hours. So it's not really about automating the whole process, but getting those 10 minutes back to fully bring your most amount of potential to the table and not getting bogged down. So again, if you have any kind of reporting, weekly updates, that's when we use a lot for weekly updates and performance summaries, client reports especially. This is like the clearest win. You feed AI the data and the context, and it drafts the narrative. You read it, add perspective, send it, and you're done. And it's super quick. It went from having to go and read client relationships and go back to the chat, understand some things about them, to you're done that in minutes compared to hours. So customer service, another big one, can draft responses, queries, categorize incoming requests, handle the first pass on frequently asked questions, that sort of thing. A human still reviews and approves it. It's not really about removing the human touch again. It's just about removing that really repetitive drafting work so that a person can focus on calls, on conversations that actually need a human. That's more customer service. You've probably had it many times before. Um, yeah, so every one of these examples is something in common. The human is still in the loop. You're still valuable. But again, you're using a tool to its utmost efficiency and it improves both the business and you. You're able to do the intensive thinking part, not the doing part, more often and getting better at it, while the doable part kind of falls to the wayside. And I think that's amazing. It's usually the part of the job people like the most. Everyone hates the monotonous work. So if you reframe it like that and think about it as a tool like that, it's amazing. and it compounds crazily. Um, just about getting these tasks done faster, and not just in isolation, but in teams as well. The time you get back just compounds like crazy. And teams not being bogged down in reports is it's amazing. Our business personally, we had people maybe working for a couple hours a day initially, just because when they started picking up the tools with what they were already doing, they just skyrocketed and they're just like, hey, I'm just sitting around waiting for things to do. Um, and some people like, let's hop on a sales call or do something like that, and they wanted to expand their expertise, which is very nice. But you get people getting back the time that they enjoy usually being at work and doing the job that they do best. So I've seen businesses where 1 month properly implemented AI workflows change the dynamic of the entire team. Not because they cut anyone or cut an entire department, it's because they automated everything that was monotonous and simple. And because they got back enough time and they had the capacity to breathe. And when people have capacity, they get creative. That's what we've noticed. You just functionally get better at your job. Um, so I'd say in the next video, I'll get into the practical side of this, specifically how to use and actually talk to the AI, so it gives you useful and high quality output. Because this is where most people go wrong. And if you understand the formula, everything gets like 10 times easier. It's honestly amazing. And if you want to go deeper in this right now, there's a free webinar linked below. That's where I walk through the full framework. It's about an hour. And from identifying everything from your best automation candidates all the way out to through building to your first real workflow. Um, there's no real pitch for it. There's just content. So come check it out. Of course, we do it for your business. If you want to hire us, we'd love to. But again, completely capable to do it yourself if you would like. But yeah, thank you so much for your time, and please come by or leave a comment, book a call, anything. Links to description. Thanks.